My name is James Steffes. I retired as an engine chief, E7. I went aboard a destroyer on Long Beach, and I had made first class. Well, I was first class engineman. And it was out of Long Beach. It was a destroyer, but after I left was the one that was over off of Vietnam when a MiG dropped a 500-pound bomb on our stern. But I missed that one. I had a chance to go to one of the brand new LSTs, which is really good duty for an engineman. So I went aboard the USS Fresno, the first of its class, in San Diego. Took it through training, made a Westpac with it. USS Fresno, when I had been on the destroyer, being an engineman, I was in charge of auxiliaries, but they were short-handed in the engine room, so I had to stand watches down in a steam-powered engine room. Going on an LST like the Fresno, I got my own. I was in charge of my own engine room, and that was pretty fantastic. And it's one thing when you're standing watches in the space that you're in charge of, rather than when somebody else has. And the engines are very easy to work on. The ships are all brand new. Our living quarters were good. I just thought it was the best duty for an engineman going. I came back from there, and the way they rotated shore duty in those days was whatever your rate or rank was. After you've been to, if you were at sea prior to such and such a date, then you would get a card and you'd fill it out, and that was your chance to go to shore duty. Well, as a second class engineman, I was just about ready for shore duty. I made first class and my date dropped back 4.5 years. So I wasn't going to see shore duty anytime soon. So the detailer, I talked to him on the phone, he says, "Hey, you want to go to Hawaii?" And he says, "I can't get people to go to Hawaii." He said, "You want to go? You'll be gone in 90 days. Went home, talked to my wife, and said, "Sure." So 3.5 years in Hawaii. When I first got there, I was chief engineer on a harbor tug, which is kind of an interesting tour. And then they decommissioned the tug, and they had an opening came up for a guy to run the planned maintenance system. And I'd kind of been with that ever since it started, so I volunteered, and then that was real short of me. I left there in summer of 1975. I went on board a fast frigate that was getting ready to go in the yards in Portland. So we took it through there. I had a medical issue, got transferred off of there. I went to the USS Dixon, which was a brand new submarine repair ship down at Point Loma. I went into A Division, a division of 86 or 87 men, 13 first class besides myself, and I wasn't senior. But the chief had just made chief, and that was his job before. And there was something about me he liked, and so he gave me the job. I was made sailor quarter, which the first engineering, guy to do it. And of course that all helped when I went up for chief in the selection board, because I made it in 1977. The Dixon was a submarine repair ship, and it was almost like you had 3 different crews on there. You had weapons, repair, then you had ship's company. And weapons and repair had priority in the shops. So we were kind of like the stepchild, especially trying to get things done over there. But the divisions that I was responsible for, there was one, they were elevators and cranes, We had the boat and injector shop because they ran boats over to North Island. We had an oxygen nitrogen plant that, you know, supplied the submarines alongside. And we had the air conditioned steam heat. And I was responsible for all these things. And a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, pretty darn rewarding because I could literally do what I wanted as far as moving people around, trying to make more you know, better working conditions for all of them. And so that chief I had, he backed me all the way, and it was really impressive. So, but it was, the ship didn't go anywhere. We got underway once or twice, but it was mostly just servicing submarines. And I went from the Dixon back to sea school in Great Lakes, and they cut me orders to the exact same ship I was on in 1970-71 as a first class.